Artemis just broke a 50-year record in deep space, but what they found behind the moon will leave you speechless. On April 6, 2026, at approximately 1:56 p.m. EDT, 4 humans traveled farther from Earth than anyone ever had, crossing 252,757 miles and moving into a zone where something would soon cut them off completely. The crew of NASA's Artemis II had just broken a record that had stood since 1970. The Apollo 13 astronauts once reached 248,655 miles during their return to Earth, and no one had gone beyond that point for more than 50 years. This time, the distance was not just passed, it was pushed further with purpose. Commander Reed Wiseman marked the moment clearly. "As we surpass the furthest distance humans have ever traveled from planet Earth," he added, "we will continue our journey even further into space." The mission was not only about going farther, it was about testing how far humans could realistically go. As the Orion spacecraft approached the far side of the moon, a known but unavoidable event began. The moon itself blocked all communication between the spacecraft and Earth. Every signal, voice, data, tracking stopped. Mission Control could not reach them, and the crew could not reach back. This lasted for about 40 minutes. Signal was lost at 22:46 UTC and only returned at 23:24 UTC. During that time, there was no confirmation of what was happening inside the spacecraft. NASA had planned for this situation. Engineers refer to it as a loss of signal event caused by the moon's mass interfering with radio transmission. It was expected, calculated, and built into the mission timeline. Still, the reality remained unchanged. The crew was completely on its own during that window. One report described it directly: astronauts will be entirely cut off from the planet. Another called it one of the most psychologically intense phases of the mission. When contact was restored, Mission Control received a short message: "We will always choose Earth." While that blackout defined the mission, what came into view during that passage added another layer to it. The far side of the moon is not the surface most people are familiar with. The side visible from Earth contains smoother plains formed by ancient lava flows. The opposite side is different, covered in dense craters, rough terrain, and features that have remained unchanged for billions of years. From Orion, the crew observed formations that are rarely seen directly by human eyes. Christina Koch and Victor Glover were among those watching closely as the spacecraft moved along its path. Some areas had never been seen this way before. NASA stated it simply: "There are a lot of places that human eyes have never seen." The crew described the terrain as impossibly rugged and alien, noting how uneven and complex it appeared compared to the familiar lunar surface. The images captured during this part of the mission added detail to what had only been partially understood. The crew recorded sharp ridges, deep craters, and wide basins, including the Orientale Basin, one of the most prominent impact sites in the solar system. They also noted variations in color, with patches showing greenish and brown tones. Around 20% of the far side was illuminated at the time, which created long shadows and revealed features that are not visible under direct lighting. There were also brief flashes believed to be meteoroid impacts. Artemis the Sand itself had been in development for years, built as the first crewed mission to the moon since Apollo 17 in 1972. Its crew made history before they even left orbit. Victor Glover was the first person of color on a lunar mission. Christina Koch was the first woman to travel that far from Earth. Jeremy Hansen was the first non-American to orbit the moon. Glover said it plainly: "Those decisions have led to us having an astronaut office that looks very much like America." The spacecraft followed a path designed to loop around the moon and return using gravity alone. No landing, just a 10-day, 600,000-mile test of life support, navigation, and the craft itself. That data now shapes Artemis III, which targets the moon's south pole. Commander Wiseman called it the next right step in a sustained lunar presence, while Hansen connected it further: "Global problems require global solutions." NASA's real target is Mars, and this mission was the first real step toward it.